During the winter of 1942 to 1943, the city of Stalingrad was reduced to rubble. The fighting was so intense that entire buildings were destroyed, and the streets were littered with the dead. The Volga River froze, and temperatures dropped to -30 degrees Celsius, adding to the misery. Soldiers on both sides were pushed to their physical and mental limits, and it was in this environment that strange events began to unfold. German soldiers stationed in the ruins of Stalingrad reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the destroyed buildings at night. These figures were described as ghostly soldiers, their uniforms tattered and their faces pale and lifeless. Some claimed the figures were Soviet soldiers who had died in the battle, while others believed they were the spirits of their own fallen comrades. One German officer wrote in his diary, "Last night, I saw them, men walking through the snow, their faces frozen in agony. They did not speak, but their eyes were filled with despair. When I approached, they vanished into the darkness. My men are terrified. They say the dead are walking among us." Both German and Soviet soldiers reported hearing disembodied screams and cries for help echoing through the ruins, even in areas where no living soldiers remained. These cries were often accompanied by the sound of footsteps or the clinking of weapons, as if an invisible army was marching through the streets. A Soviet sniper later recounted, "I was hiding in a bombed-out building, waiting for my target. Suddenly, I heard a voice whispering in my ear, 'Help me.' I turned, but no one was there. Then I heard it again, louder this time, and I realized it was coming from all around me. I couldn't sleep for days after that." One of the most infamous locations was the Red October factory, a key battleground during the siege. Soldiers on both sides reported strange occurrences within its walls. Lights would flicker on and off, machinery would start and stop on its own, and ghostly figures were seen wandering the corridors. Some soldiers claimed to have been pushed or touched by unseen hands, while others reported hearing the sound of phantom gunfire and explosions. A German soldier wrote, "The factory is cursed. We hear voices in the dark, and the machines, they move on their own. Last night, one of my comrades swore he saw a man standing in the shadows, but when we searched, there was no one there. We are not alone here." As the battle dragged on and the winter grew harsher, soldiers began reporting sightings of frozen figures, ghostly apparitions of men who had died in the cold. These figures were often seen standing motionless in the snow, their faces twisted in agony. Some soldiers claimed the figures would suddenly vanish, while others said they would slowly turn and stare before disappearing. A Soviet medic recalled, "I was tending to the wounded when I saw him, a man standing in the snow, his uniform covered in frost. I called out to him, but he didn't respond. When I approached, he was gone. My patients saw him too. They said he was one of the dead, come back to haunt us." After the battle ended in February 1943, with the surrender of the German Sixth Army, the city of Stalingrad was left in ruins. The stories of the ghosts, however, persisted. Survivors on both sides carried these tales with them, and to this day, the Battle of Stalingrad is remembered not only for its brutality, but also for the eerie and unexplained phenomena that occurred during the fighting. Some believe the ghosts were the restless spirits of the countless soldiers and civilians who died in the battle, unable to find peace. Others think the extreme stress and trauma of the siege caused soldiers to hallucinate. Whatever the explanation, the ghosts of Stalingrad remain one of the most haunting and chilling stories to emerge from World War II. This story is a reminder of the horrors of war, not just in terms of physical destruction, but also the psychological and supernatural toll it can take on those who experience it.